Cozy HD. How you doing? Thank you for the chat. If you could have a fighting crossover with any two franchises, which would you pick? Okay. Done different versions of this over the years. I've answered this question in a couple different ways, but I'm going to let's engage with it in an earnest manner because I don't want to just do the Capcom versus Capcom thing. All right, we're gonna let me actually let's have fun with this. I appreciate the support. That's a genuine thing, and you might not have heard the different versions that we've had over the years. So let's think about it. What was a cool franchise that could benefit from a fighting game that currently does not have one? I think so. I mean, Hunter x Hunter would have been a great answer.
Yeesh.
A couple months ago,
right?
I think Jujutsu Kaisen would be a sick-ass real fighting game. Not some mobile nonsense, not some arena fighter, whatever, forgettable thing that isn't, like, legit. Like, a real, proper 1v1 2D fighter. I think Jujutsu Kaisen could be phenomenal. I think there's a really great cast of characters that could be a whole lot of fun there. I think you could make the domain expansion aspect of that do a lot to make the stage very cool. And I think that you could make stages interesting in a way that is like not quite like Darkstalkers with the alternate dimension stuff or whatever, but like you can make a stage have a benefit for a character because that's part of their kit, in some ways. And I think that's a unique thing that you could play with in that game. Crossing over though, like I'm just describing a property that would be cool as a fighting game, but in terms of a crossover, I mean,
and does it have to be like fantastical? Does it have to be like not realistic?
No, I think anything is viable. If you want to say UFC real life, you can say that.
Yeah, okay.
There's a UFC fighting game, sure. Pokemon versus Digimon would be legendary, but it would also be completely unfair and busted and ridiculous because the only thing, because I feel like Blastoise looks like a Digimon, but most Pokemon are kind of just
low level,
like cute low level evolution Digimons. And then you get the ridiculous gods that shaped the universe and the ancient creatures that have human spirits, trapped inside of them or so. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, Pokemon, there's there's the cute little buddies you hang out with. There's the medium-sized grappling jujitsu, whatever, kangaroos, and then there's just the Sephiroth in heaven upon high that has created all of mankind. And I feel like Digimon, it's like you got everything in between. You got a little T-Rex, then you got a T-Rex with a bunch of rockets jammed up its ass, and then you got a T-Rex that's like a gangster, and then you got a T-Rex that's a gangster, but this time it's like a hot angel.
Wow, I missed that.
So it would be hard to make these two things kind of come together.
There's no god level Digimons?
There are. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. It would be different. The power scaling and design battles are just they're just different from each other. You can force it in a couple of ways, but like it'd be hard. It would be a bit like Mortal Kombat cross Street Fighter. These are the two most popular fighting game franchises. Therefore, we should put them together automatically, right?
No, that doesn't work.
Why not?
Yeah, well,
because they don't,
You can't decapitate Ryu.
That's it. So I think it's I don't fully know what I'm talking about because admittedly I'm like a Gen 1er and like I know relative Digimon lore through a dude that knows everything about it, but like I picked it up through osmosis. So I can talk about Yggdrasil. But no, I think it's a little bit like the same problem. Just because their Digimon and Pokemon are at the forefront, in the way that Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat are, it doesn't mean that they're going to play nicely together, unfortunately. So that's a hard one. I think the most obvious killer answer would be Virtua Fighter Cross Yakuza.
Yeah.
Virtua Fighter and Yakuza are already sister series owned by the same company. Virtua Fighter has a dry, kind of boring on purpose like design. It's not a problem because it's what it wants to be. It wants to be dry on purpose. Whereas Yakuza is all about the flavor and it's kind of crazy. And I think you could have fun with this completely dry ass serious group of characters and these batshit crazy Japanese extreme stereotypes and secret Koreans. I think that could be a really fun crossover game. How about you?
Can we mix some Chrono Trigger Cross and Final Fantasy?
Like Dissidia?
But a game that people want to play? I've never touched Dissidia personally.
All Final Fantasies and Chrono Trigger?
Yeah.
So like
and
every...
Cross.
So just kind of like Kingdom Heartsing it, like everything together?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. It'd make $1 bajillion.
Why are people mad that I'm throwing shade on a game that I don't know about?
It's not the most... I mean, yeah, I guess it's fine.
How good is Dissidia?
Not that great.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding is that there was a peak of the series where there was a lot of fun to be had with one version or two versions of it. But then after those original ones, it kind of just flew off. But even then, the originals are like, if you're looking for a fighting game, you're not getting it. You're getting like a third-person unique fighting thing. It's not what we're looking for.
I see.
It's a crossover game and it's kind of doing its own thing, but it's an arena fighter. It's not
arena.
Yeah, it's not what we're looking for. It's Budokai Tenkaichi type things going on there. Yeah, I guess so. As a Final Fantasy fan, and I love me some Chrono Trigger. There's nothing wrong there. I guess that would do. That would do. I can spice that up though.
Yeah.
You can do something a little more exciting in there. You can go back and get some like
Fire Emblem.
No, Tales.
Oh, there's a lot of Tales.
Every Tales game in a proper fighting game with the main characters and the 2 or 3 best party members in a massive crossover. That's a super fun fighting game that I think everybody would love.
In a game that's already combo based, right?
Yes, but now you make it like proper 1v1, type of thing. Like, did they do it? There's crossovers with the Tales games, Tales of Versus things or so, but did they do it like... if there was a proper fighting game, I think we would have heard about it, though. I don't think they ever did that.
Tales of the World crossover series, but still RPGs.
Yeah, not the crossovers of the characters all coming together from different games into a Tales of RPG, like as a proper
Tales
2D fighter.
Versus. Never heard of that.
It was a trash fighting game. Okay, well, do it good.
Do it proper.
Do it good. I think that would be a big one. Yeah, I think that would be something a lot of people would that would make a lot of money. Do
the Overwatch characters fight?
Yes. They could be in their own fighter if you wanted to. I mean, the League character. Let League get its minute. They're just starting. If Blizzard was like, hey,
you know what? What is Blizzard doing right now?
Not much. Although people apparently are enjoying the new Overwatch, because since I heard that the new Overwatch...
Since they copied everything else?
I heard the new Overwatch is fun. Overwatch 2 is fun again or something.
Oh, original.
Yeah. The problem with an Overwatch fighting game is that Reinhardt would be cool, and Genji would be cool, and Doomfist would be amazing. Winston would be fun, and Soldier 76 would be he'd be a gun character. You could design a kit around a gun character, like Deadpool, Dante, etc. There's gun characters. That's but then you have to distinguish that from like 15 other gun characters, right? So like shotgun character, you can get him up close and do a little bit more, so that Reaper fights significantly differently, and that's fine and dandy. And then Hanzo is also an archer, so then you have to kind of work that around. But I think in the end, you kind of end up with a game with like 80 zoners, and you would feel it.
Okay, made by NRS.
You would feel it.
Got it.
It would get weird. It would become a problem. Like you could do things where you'd have to change the kit around drastically. So I could see like Farah being like a character that shoots missiles and flies, but like ultimately relies more on being redesigned as a flying melee character. So you give her like a big, like, whatever, her flying suit blade or something like that, or just change it around so that she, you have to change the character to become not just shooting type of things. But I could see it. I could see it. Characters like Torbjorn, like there'd have to be like, you'd have to create a puppet character to control at the same time. But like he also couldn't just be like, and then now they zone you from two sides of the screen at the same time. You'd have to find ways to make them not all zoners to make it interesting. It could happen though. Do you have Overwatch characters that you'd convert that you think would make the jump good?
Well, you've named most of
the obvious ones.
Yeah, exactly. And I haven't played the game either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bastion, the robot tank.
Yeah.
You can get Symmetra on the portals.
Portals are always tricky.
Portal play, right?
Yeah.
Zarya, I love Zarya.
Is it too obvious?
But she's just a beam zoner. She's Cable. She goes Hyper Viper Beam times 5, and then Agon Pogotovnosti, and then it's like it would be not hard, but you'd have to find the way to make the kits really unique, and you'd have to probably
make new things. Just
make the characters not be holding guns, But you could do it. Sure. Let's see. I think we answered the question in earnest this time and didn't just say Capcom versus Capcom. So there you go. There's a real answer that we fully explored. So, not too cynical.